Therefore, I came to Riga a year ago, and it's good to be back in one of the Baltic states, and it's good to be back with some fresh air. Moscow is terrible now with Pробki. You are sitting for 4 hours getting to the airport, which is mainly of interest for you, I suppose. We had for now 100 years very, very good Nordic cooperation with Sweden, with Finland, with Norway and with Iceland, and we have turned that into Nordic-Baltic cooperation. So we are meeting as often as we can. In the EU it's 5+3. Is it true? No, it's 3+3 because there are 3 Nordic countries which are members of the EU. In NATO meeting it's 3+3, and in Nordic-Baltic meeting it's 5+3. What does all this 5+2+3+ mean? It means that when you are meeting 27 or 28 countries, and there are some big ones, of course one small country like Latvia or Denmark doesn't have so much to say. But if we are meeting over breakfast in the morning and agreeing that we support each other on this and that position, then we are suddenly 8 out of 27. That's not so bad. Then we can begin to influence. I'm not saying that we can run the EU, but we can begin so a little by little to influence things in the EU decision making. And that's what we're doing in these. And when I came, you know, when you're coming to a new state as an ambassador, then you have a letter of credentials. So I had a beautiful letter from the Danish Queen to Mr. Putin. And Mr. Putin was there standing in the Kremlin, and then he said 4 lines. Danish and Russian cooperation has been good for many years. That was nice. And if both countries will work upon it, then they can be good again. Point. So I thought, well, how do we answer that one? So I said to him, yes, I totally agree. If both sides will work on it, then we can agree. And then we had champagne.
A lot of things are being discussed or handled when off the table. What would be your estimation of the matters that are being discussed unofficially? For example, when you go into a meeting, you're sitting around the table and discussing the matter, and afterwards you go, for example, to a restaurant or to a sauna or to. I've heard this being said by other ambassadors. That's why I'm asking.
And I mean, I have been now together 8 years in Moscow. And if you know how much vodka it takes to get agreements with Russians, I don't know why my liver is still alive. But all these informal things where you get to know each other and learn to say stupid things to each other, and then you sit together in the official meeting. And, I know that guy is cheating now, so don't believe in that. And then you can. I mean, it doesn't solve all problems, but it can help a lot of problems to have all these informal things together. But people, I mean, in the beginning, when you send people to, for example, to our EU or NATO delegations, they think the important thing is going to the meeting at 10. That's not the important thing. The important thing is going to the dinner and going to the sauna and going to the breakfast, and then it may be solved when you come to the meeting at 10.
And so my question is, do you see Russia as a threat? And if so, is it more political, military, or economic?
I don't think there is a military threat, either to Denmark or to the Baltic states from Russia at the moment. They have a lot of their own problems. They had very big problems managing even Georgia 3 years ago. So I don't think that they are running around and wanting to make military attacks on anybody. Maybe on somebody in their own country in southern Caucasus or northern Caucasus, but not on anybody else. But of course they are using their means for spreading influence. And what is their means in our area? It's their gas and it's their oil. If they can show by turning off the oil to Ukraine one day, or to Belarus another day, or the gas, that they are the big power and they know how to run that issue, of course they can do that again. And at least one thing they can do, they can change the prices up and down, and if you don't follow, then they can turn off. That is why I think, and I didn't come in to that it's very important that we build up our energy cooperation around the Baltic Sea. And we have been talking about that for 100 years, no 20, and we are still doing very little. But we should, of course, I'm a Dane, so I think that we should build up alternative energy, windmills, gas, what do we call biogas, biomass. We have a lot of wood actually, you could produce a lot of biomass. And then of course we should have an energy ring and a gas ring and an oil ring. Not against Russia, but just to be not dependent on Russia.